Hi, it's Lucy Johnson here from fullybookedformula.com, and this week I wanted to talk to you about how you can fill up your sessions, your boot camps and your classes by managing the clients that you do currently have. So what I mean by that is when oftentimes I speak to my clients, so fit pros or fitness business owners or personal trainers who don't yet have all the clients they want, one of the first things I ask them is, well, how are you treating and managing the clients that you do have? And what the answer often is they're not really managing them at all. And what I mean by that is they're behaving as if they're a small business that doesn't yet have all the clients it wants, and because of that they're not able to grow at the rate that they want to. They're spending too much time doing things like moving client sessions around at last minute. They're spending lots of time chasing payments. They're spending lots of time not being sure how they should be communicating with their clients, so they're emailing or they're answering texts on their phone, or they're taking phone calls at night time or at the weekend. And what happens when you behave with your current clients like that is, one, you're not behaving like the business owner that you want to be. You're not behaving like the business owner that has the busy classes, that has the busy diary, that has, you know, the full boot camp. And two, you just don't have the time to go and do the marketing that you need to do to get those extra people into those sessions. So what you want to do is you want to have a good look at how you're managing the clients that you do currently have, and you need to start setting some rules. And what I mean by that is everybody needs to know what, if you like, the rules of engagement are when it comes to being one of your clients. You need to let them know from the get-go in their welcome pack. And if you don't do a welcome pack, it's something I strongly recommend. And this is something that gets sent out either as a PDF via email whenever somebody joins you, or something that you can physically print out and put into their hand at the same time they're filling out their PAR-Q, or something that they have to fill out at the moment when they first start working with you. In that welcome pack, explain to them what the rules are. Tell them what happens if they're 5 minutes late to a session. Tell them when you expect payment and what will happen if payment isn't made at that time. Tell them when it's okay for them to call you if they need to talk to you, and when it's not okay for them to call you if they need to talk to you. And sometimes I get a little bit of resistance from my clients that I say this to. They're kind of like, well, Lucy, you know, that all sounds a bit strict to me, and I want to be there for my clients, and you know, it just doesn't work that way for me. I have not found a single case yet where, when I've persisted and when I've said, no, trust me, you aren't any different from everyone else I've worked with. You need to do this, and you need to start putting those rules in place, and you need to start sending out that welcome pack that explains the rules. We have not had a case yet where there's not been great success. The clients do actually like to know what the rules are, because they like to know what they are allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. Clients like to be well informed. They like to know what time they should get to the session or the class. They like to know when they should be making payment, because otherwise it's all wishy-washy and they don't know where they stand, and they don't want to do the wrong thing, and they don't want to offend you, but they just don't know what the rules of the game are. You know, it's like playing a game of football and not telling them what the rules are. It's really, really hard to get the best out of someone when you do that. So start creating the rules in the business. Now, an important note here is you don't want to get all like strict and heavy-handed with people. You know, you don't want to be taking that approach, because after all, you're their coach, you're their class teacher, you're their boot camp leader, you're their nutritionist, you're their instructor, whatever it is that you're doing. And that's a trusting relationship. You know, that coach-client relationship is really special. So what I recommend is that when you communicate these rules with people, you do it through the welcome pack. And if you have to pull someone up on something because they've not followed the rules, you don't do it in a session with them. You don't do it whilst you're coaching them. You do it separately. Maybe you give them a phone call afterwards, or you send them an email to let them know, hey, you know, I noticed that you turned up late. Just to remind you, in the welcome pack I explained that you turning up late is not in your best interest, so please make sure next time you are on time for me. Separate it out from the coaching time that you spend with them. Or even better, if you have an assistant, someone who helps you maybe a couple of hours a week, or maybe it's time you should think about getting an assistant, someone who can help you out doing some of the more admin-y type duties, get them to do that kind of rule enforcing, because then you get to be the good cop still and they can be the bad cop. They can be the one chasing the money and doing all that stuff, because after all, that's not why you got into business. I know it's not. You didn't get into business so that you could chase down payments, tell people off for being late, and so on and so on. So if it's time for you to get an assistant, even if it's like 1 or 2 hours a week, if you can afford it, I highly recommend you do it, because they can take those duties from you. And then with all that time that you have created, because now you're not chasing around after your clients that aren't playing by the rules, and now you're acting like a business owner, and now you're doing the things you need to be doing to get the clients you want to get, guess what? You have more time to do the marketing. You feel more professional. Your mind isn't busy with, oh God, I'm stressed out with the clients I do have, so what's going to happen when I get 20 more? Maybe I don't even want 20 more. I just need to figure out working with these ones first. It clears all of that space for you mentally, and it clears lots of time for you to do that extra marketing work as well. So I strongly recommend it, that if you want to fill your bootcamp sessions and classes, you start managing your current clients much more efficiently and in a much more structured way. I know if you do it, you'll get good results, and I can't wait to hear from you and see how you did.